As we've mentioned, President Trump is kicking off the Independence Day holiday with a visit to South Dakota. He will take part in a fireworks display at Mount Rushmore. There are coronavirus concerns, as well as criticism coming from the Native American community, among others. Friday's show is the first to take place at the monument in over a decade. For more, I want to bring in Lisa Kaczke. She's a South Dakota politics reporter for the Argus Leader. It's nice to have you here, Lisa.
Thanks for having me.
So President Trump has been criticized for holding large events during the pandemic, despite warnings from health experts. 7,500 people are expected to attend today's event in your state, and neither mask nor social distancing will be required. So I'm wondering how the president's approach to the pandemic virus has been received there on the ground.
Well, it's definitely been received well by Republican leadership in the state. Governor Nome has closely followed Trump's lead in not closing down the state and not implementing any sort of stay-at-home order or anything like that. She doesn't typically wear masks, and she emphasizes freedom and personal responsibility quite frequently during the pandemic.
Well, the president is expected to speak ahead of the fireworks show. What are locals hoping to hear from him?
Well, I think a lot of people in South Dakota, we're a very Republican-heavy state, and so I think there's going to be a lot of kind of rallying Republicans here in the state, and I think Republicans are really looking for some leadership from the president and looking for some just kind of excitement going into the 2020 election.
Well, President Trump has been criticized for the venue. I think for those of us who are not in South Dakota, we're not as aware of the issues there. So can you tell us a little bit more about the significance of the monument and why there haven't been any shows here in the last 10 years? And then also, I think we'd all benefit from hearing why some locals, specifically Native Americans, are really upset about the event.
Okay, yeah. The fireworks haven't been shut off since 2009 because of a mountain pine beetle infestation that happened until about 2016. It killed thousands of trees and created a lot of fuel for wildfires. And so this is really the first time that they're going to be trying the fireworks in a decade. The National Park Service says there's about a 0.02% chance of a wildfire that could destroy homes and businesses, but obviously that could be higher if there's abnormal dry conditions, which we're in right now. And I think in terms of the venue, President Trump has really liked Mount Rushmore during his tenure as president, and really has been pushing to visit Mount Rushmore and has wanted to be a part of Mount Rushmore during his presidency. But there's also concerns, among tribes here in South Dakota, because the Black Hills, where Mount Rushmore is considered sacred land to them. And so, they're very concerned that a president who has made kind of disparaging comments about minorities is coming to their sacred land.
So, Lisa, how important will the Native American vote be in the state come November? And what steps has the Trump campaign taken to win their support?
Well, they haven't taken a whole lot of steps directly here in South Dakota to win the Native American vote. Our reservations are kind of the pockets of Democrats here in the state. And, there's a lot of kind of adversarial relationships between the tribes and our Republican Governor Nome and the Trump administration. One of our tribes here in South Dakota is actually in the middle of a lawsuit right now with the Trump administration over their checkpoints to address the coronavirus pandemic on the reservations. And so I think, going into November, it's going to be a hard sell to get Native Americans to vote for President Trump here in South Dakota.
Are they an important voting bloc, or will President Trump, is he expected to win the state again in this election, even without their support?
I think he'll have a very good chance of winning South Dakota without Native American support. We have a large Republican supermajority here in the state and the legislature. We have Republican leadership in state government. So, we do have Democrats in the state legislature that and a large part of them are Native American. So, I mean, it does play a little bit into our state politics, but overall in federal politics, it really is a Republican supermajority.
All right, Lisa Kaczke, thank you so much. Have a nice 4th of July.
Thanks, you too.